All right, Crossroads Sports. I'm Brandon Reef. We got Jonathan Birdsong, my co-host below, and we got a very special guest this evening, IU Indianapolis Director of Athletics, Luke Bosso. Luke, welcome to the show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Great. Thank you for coming on. I know this has been in the works for a little bit, and we got to connect with you a couple weeks ago at the IU Indy basketball game, which was a great time there, and always best when they get a win like that.
I tell people the one thing I didn't realize in this job is how much I love winning and how much I hate losing. And somebody asked me, they said, "Do you sleep better when you win?" And I said, "No, I can't sleep at all when we win. I'm so pumped up." So, I'm hopeful for a lot of sleepless nights in this job.
Absolutely, absolutely. John, you wanna start with a
That
couple questions in?
so like the first time we met, that was actually my first time at the jungle. You know what I'm saying? Just okay, I'm just gonna let you right now. Me and Brandon are a couple of Muncie homers. We went to Ball State University, so don't hold that against us. So like when it, you know what I'm saying, when we kind of came time to choose our schools, IUPUI. Well, no, Brandon actually transferred. Take that back. Brandon actually transferred back to you. All right, shame on me. Shame on me. I
Yeah,
was too,
I
I was
was
very
at USI down
yeah,
in
right.
Evansville.
So he did spend some time at USA, but like sometimes even here in the Circle City, shame on us, we kind of forget that there's a whole little world over there. And you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to say city. It's like a whole little world over there. You know what I'm saying? More than just athletics, obviously, you know what I'm saying, a campus and whatnot. So, like, no, man, it's great. Like I said, it's great to have you on. But like I said, it was my first time ever at the jungle. And, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of a little bit of a throwback. But definitely, you know what I'm saying. I felt it definitely give you a good vibe for hoops for sure. Because sometimes because we've covered IU Indy, and that's another one. We got to make sure we land that one. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's right.
Can't say the UOP anymore, right? But like nah, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes you don't necessarily get the best. Sometimes, my personal opinion, you don't necessarily get the best fan experience when you're in the fairgrounds, depending upon who they're playing and and what time. But like, man, it was great to catch IU Indy, and like I said, get a win at the jungle for sure.
Yeah, yeah. First of all, let me tell you, I love that you have our poster behind your shoulder there. So, appreciate that. Yeah, and I think it's one of the things. I would tell you, John, when I took this job, it was my first time back in the jungle in a long time. When I took this job last year, I'd grown up, went to the Ron Hunter camps, did the ABCD camps when they were down there, go those type of things. Being from Indianapolis, historically, I love the historical context of the Coliseum. Right, you got the Pacers, that the ABA Pacers that played there.
Mm-hmm.
One of three venues I think left in the world that the Beatles played at. Right, so I love that significance of it. But it's a big venue.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were sitting there last year at games and knowing that we were probably in a little bit of we are in a little bit of a rebuild, but we've been in a rebuild for a long time. That if
Mm-hmm.
we really want to do this right with what we have coming on campus, we need to get this thing back downtown. So you know. So people will sit there and when they get done with work at 6 o'clock, so I can head over to the jungle, catch a game at 6:30,
Right.
have a couple drinks, watch some good basketball, and go from there. So it was really important, and I think part of being a downtown campus, being in a vibrant city, we owe it a little bit to make sure we have really good Division I basketball in downtown Indianapolis.
Yeah, absolutely. And I told I told John my thing is sometimes those little intimate places are better for games. Like Villanova and Penn State. Sometimes they play at the Pelagia, or was it Pelagia? I'm probably saying it completely wrong, but
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
smaller venue. You feel like you got kind of fans right there on top of you and
You
such.
can get up close to the situation. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes I think so. Like, who did we go see? We were supposed to like Zingering. We didn't, but the opposing coach was
Oh, yeah,
Gottlieb.
Green Bay, Doug Gottlieb.
yeah, it was Gottlieb, who I may or may have not have got into a Twitter debate once before, you know what I'm saying, twice. But like, no, it's you get, you know what I mean, but sometimes, you know what I'm saying, because he's a quote unquote star. Sometimes people might feel that's, you know what I'm saying, that you can't get close to that. But like, no, it was like a real intimate setting, man. I kind of dug it. And we had guys chiming behind us,
Oh yeah,
it's,
Yeah,
they were
it's
yeah. I
chirping.
mean, that's the
pro and
fun part about college basketball, right? So it's about it's being on top of people doing different things. But I'll tell you this story. I've been, when you're in this role, we put on events, right? I mean, obviously they're athletic events, all this different stuff, and you feel anxious. And it was a big move for us to come back downtown for majority of our games. But the cool thing about the jungle is my father, who used to be a Division I official, was really involved in top 40 camp for a long time. He came to a volleyball match this year, and in volleyball, depending on the match, when they open one side, and we get pretty good fans to come to the game, and it was music was loud, the rallies are happening, and about 6 points into the first game, my dad looks over and he goes, "Basketball is going to be awesome in the jungle," and I think that's kind of the thing we've experienced so far. I mean, that game against Green Bay, the crowd was going. And I'll tell you, we lost, but against Northern Kentucky on a Saturday, we lost by 2, and in a really tough play, but just everybody was going nuts. You're yelling, you can feel the energy, and that's what we want in the program. We hope that. With Paul and with everything we're trying to do with the IU Indy on the buses and the players we're getting, from local, we want people to feel the energy of the program. And, this year it's been really fun to go to our games because, we're competing and, a couple balls bounce our way. We have a little bit different record, but, the nice part about our league is if you're playing well at the end of the season, everybody gets to the Horizon League tournament. And then you just got 4 games and you win 4 games. Next thing you know,
Yep.
you're in the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely. How important was it? Like you said, Paul Kowarski hits his first year there at the IU Indy. How important was it to get somebody that's kind of homemade, home in that community area that knows Indianapolis? Was that one of your main sticking points when making a search for a coach?
Yeah, it was for Paul Casaro that was he was high on the list for that reason, right? He had won here, obviously 15 minutes away from the campus. He had recruited guys from Indianapolis. When we looked at the search, I wrote down 10 things that I wanted in a head coach, and I don't remember if it's number 1 or number 2, but it was high on the list. It said, "Hey, we want to recruit Indianapolis, and we want to recruit Indiana." Everybody on our team except for the 2 7-footers are within a 5-hour drive, 6-hour drive of Indianapolis. And, I'm going to have to make sure my dad watches this. I'm going to talk about him twice. We used to go to the Horizon League tournaments and we go to the championship game and he would say, then I can't believe IUPUI isn't here now, IU Indy. And he's like, with how much talent is in this state, you should be competing every year. So every coach we talk to during the process, because in the reality, guys, I don't ask coaches about offense and defense, right? If we're scoring points, I don't care what offense you're running, and if you're stopping them from scoring points, I don't care what defense we're running. If we're winning, everything's great. But I do care where the student athletes are coming from. And we asked every one of them, what is your relationships with coaches in Indianapolis? What is your relationship with coaches in Indiana? And for me, and what I've told Paul from day one, I want to win the recruiting battles, right? We may not get the IU, Purdue, and Notre Dame kids. That's fine. But I want to be on the same level as Ball State, Indiana State, USI, Evansville, all those different places. And when kids, I want kids that are, especially in the center of the state, when they say, "Hey, I want to go play Division I want them to pick us."
Okay. You've been on the position now for about 18 months or so now, I think.
Yeah.
What, how did you learn? How has been learning your way through that role? Because you came into this position from a totally different field. Some people may not know. So how has that been, and who's kind of helped mentor you through that process?
Yeah, I tell people all the time, guys, I don't know if I'm doing this right, but I'm doing it my way, which has been a lot of fun. But there's still been a lot to learn. And the reality is the only difference between politics and athletics is the name. A lot of similarities in both worlds. And a lot of fun. And I had a lot of fun in the political world, and I'm having a lot of fun here. But Fred Glass has been great. It's been nice to be able to pick up the phone and call Fred and say, "Hey." At the beginning, a few times it was, "Hey, Fred, will I look really dumb if I ask somebody this?" Right? and Fred has been like, "No, it's great," or do this. And and Doug Bowles is another guy I can text or call along the way. John LaCrone, the former commissioner of the Horizon League, has been extremely helpful. But my boss at IU Indianapolis, Tom Morrison, has helped me really navigate the higher ed portion. Without him, I would not be as successful as we've been so far. But the other person, and she doesn't get enough credit, and she deserves all the credit in the world, is our commissioner of the league, Julie Rowe-Lash, right? The Horizon League is based in Indianapolis. Her and her team have been so incredibly helpful. Because there's a lot of logistical things in this role you don't realize, right? We play a lot of Sunday games, so changing a game because of an NFL player, because of a NFL game that may have playoff implications. Or last year I vividly remember we were supposed to get a bunch of snow And I asked somebody on our team, I'm like, so who makes the decision if the game happens or not? And that person was like, you. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, now I need to call the league and ask some questions, right? And I think the really fun part about being in Indy is there's so many people I can call, and I could probably name 10 more people that I just call and ask and say, hey, what's your feeling on this? Help me with this. And it's been really fun to be able to do that.
Awesome, John.
Luke, Luke, I think you kind of lowballing it, because I know some of your bio, and then you just name drop Ron Hunter, said you attended a Ron Hunter camp. And I'm not saying just because you go to a Ron Hunter camp as a youth that can make you athletic director one day of IUPUI. But I do also
IU Indy.
I remember going over interview. Did you play for Indiana Black Expo?
So I play AU for Black Expo.
You got resume.
Tony Mason is still a close friend. It's funny, guys. So that was kind of like the really when AAU was taking off, and we had a great team. Guys from really all around the state, and it was us and there was the guys out of Bloomington that were really good, and probably in today's world, we were beating teams like 105-10, right, and just crushing people, but it probably wouldn't go over so well, but it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot of things, made some great friends a part of it. And, Tony's a guy that, he's been a big supporter of the basketball program since I've gotten here. And, our team has done stuff with him over Urban League. And, one of the people that, that was so, instrumental in my success, Reverend Charles Williams, who ran Black Expo. Charles and my dad were great friends. And, my dad still tells the story about when Charles said, hey, we're going to start this AAU team. And then the next line, we're going to have this AAU team that wins. Right. And met some great friends a part of it and had a lot of fun.
Okay. What was your nickname? I know they called you. How many times they called you?
Man, gosh, now we're asking the hard hitting questions. I don't know if I remember. I was just happy to be there a lot of times. I was just happy to look up when we were winning. So, yeah.
Well, for anybody aspiring to want to get into the business of athletics, what I'm saying? How does one go about whatever path, traditional or non-traditional?
Yeah, it's get involved, right? So the way I kind of found myself into getting involved in the Horizon League, when I worked in state government for the governor, then at the IADC, there was a lot of stuff going on with sports that I was like, I really am involved in, whether it's a sports corp or, I had some dealings with the bubble 2021 tournament. But as soon as I left state government, they had asked me to join the Horizon League local organizing committee, right? And those of you that don't know, we have a local organizing committee for every sporting event that comes to Indy. And I was a sponsorship chair the first year. Second year, I became the chair and really got to know the league and really got to kind of know the ins and outs. And, that's what led to this position. But, part of it, I would tell everybody, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I probably don't get this role, right? You probably get somebody who's on the it's either been a donor, donor relations or been in compliance or something of that nature. And now you kind of, me and the Notre Dame AD kind of have a similar different background, not from sports, but, just a background of consulting those different things. And, a lot of people sit here and say college athletics, it's going down the wrong path or do all those different things. I love it because we get to be really innovative in what we do. Right. Now I can go to my team and come up with some idea that 5 years ago you may not have been able to do, that now my team's like, whoa, well, we can do this now. Let's try it. Right. So, around collectives and NIL and, student athlete opportunities and, we, internships and all those different things. It's so fun for me because also we're just trying it, right? There's no blueprint. So I would tell you, if you want to get involved in sports, one, we don't hire two types of people. We don't hire jerks and we don't hire people that can talk sports all the time. Right. I don't want to be around jerks and I don't want to be around people that talk sports all the time because if you pick up the newspaper, pick up the IBJ, pick up something and you see Eli Lilly is doing something or you see somebody's doing something in their community, I can put you in front of them, right? And you can go talk and be relatable, help sell a sponsorship, help get a donation. You can help think about revenue ideas. You can help think about a variety of different topics. So be well-versed, be energetic. And the one thing I've learned, and it really bothers me about people that work in sports, because I don't think as everybody said it. Like I said earlier, I live and die with every one of our wins, right? My wife will tell you that she can definitely tell when we won and she can tell when we lost. And I think there's a lot of people who want to work, who hop in sports that just want to say, I work in sports. I would really encourage you, if you go work in sports, you're part of something, be passionate about it. Like if you're, when we lose, I tell our whole, we can lose in soccer, we can lose in softball. I tell everybody the whole department is lost. We can win in those sports, and I say the whole department is wins. And people notice, right? People notice that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's for me, it's completely genuine on what we're doing, and that's what people should be very passionate about what they're doing.
Absolutely. Doing some research and reading some more within the athletic department there at IU Indy, I think it's impressive. You guys, I just read an article that you guys fall athletics, a 3.43 GPA. So how important, you had 205 student athletes with a 3.0 or better, which equals out to 81%. 52 of them had a 4.0 while they're playing their sports. So how important is that? When you see that, you're like, we're doing something right here at IU Indy. We have to be.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're all much better students than I was in college, so
Same
I'm
here.
really
Absolutely.
proud of them for that. No, as soon as I got on campus, right, one of the biggest cultures we had to change was the expectation of winning, and winning everywhere, right? I tell people I want to win in the classroom, I want to win in the community, I want to win on the court. And for our student athletes, when you're a student athlete, the margin of error is thin, right? People have higher expectations. People, whether it's in the whether it's when you go to interview for a job or whether it's in the classroom. So, having our student athletes do well in the classroom is really important. It's really important to the coaching staff, really important to everyone. So, really, really happy to see that. And, we harp on it all the time. You have to do well in the classroom, and our student athletes are doing it, and we're 3.43 now, and we expect the same in the second semester. So excited for that.
Yep, absolutely. You guys have the Jaguar Athletic Fund, ways to invest into your student athletes. Obviously, you're talking about the ever-changing landscape of NIL that, it's every other day. It seems like something new. You got the transfer portals that are going on. I really like your guys' because I went in and looked at your guys' the portal where you can go and support these athletes and follow them and donate, invest in the program, into the athletic department itself. I like the ease of it and the access to actually see those things.
Yeah, it's been great, and we really wanted to focus on fundraising when I got here. We broke the record last year. We're on pace to break the record this year, and it shows we're doing things right. Right, when people decide to invest their hard-earned money into the program, and I'd be lying to you, Brand, if I didn't go look at other places that I said, hey, this has been they're good at this or not good at this, and we've modeled that for some things. But I will also say, and I think, guys, I'm from Indianapolis, and for me, Mike Carroll, our highest level donor level is called the Carroll Society, right? And Mike Carroll, a godfather of the city of Indianapolis, and we still have video in the office of Mike at games and cheering, and obviously tragically died in a plane crash in 1992. But for me, I walk around campus and I think about Mike. I think about Senator Lugar, who helped, who was really instrumental in founding the university in '68, and then Senator Bosso, who passed the legislation in '69, and then also, Jim Morris, who was a big supporter of the program. So, when you're giving to IU Indianapolis, yes, you're giving to the athletic department, but you're also giving for a better Indianapolis. And I really take it serious and very passionate about that. If you're going to invest your money in our program, that we're gonna invest it in the right way and make sure it gives a great student athlete experience and make sure it gives you a good experience when you come to our games.
Yeah, absolutely. And part of the thing, you guys, we talked about the jungle and transitioning back and wanting to get more fans to get to the campus. When we kind of hinted a little bit, you guys have a brand new 34,000 square foot arena that's going to be coming in, 4,500 spectators or so. That is it still on pace for fall 26 or?
Yeah, roughly, sometime fourth quarter 26, obviously, construction, all those different things.
Right.
But yeah, the James A.T. Morris Athletic Center, the gym, will be coming to campus, and we are extremely excited. One, USA Track and Field is going to be our partner in the building, right? So Max Siegel and his group.
Absolutely.
Oh, Sorry about that.
It's all good.
Yes.
It's all good.
Yeah, so Max and his group will be coming over with us. That was part of the deal with the General Assembly. We had an outside partner, but I one, it's going to house our volleyball team, house our basketball teams. It will have a practice facility, about 4,100 for basketball, a little bit more for non-basketball. State of the art equipment in the basement, and then also, this isn't just a win for IU Indy. It's a win for downtown, right? It's a unique venue size. It'll give us the ability to host our events, but also other events. And, I want it to be used, right? We have a model on campus with the natatorium right now. The Nat seems to be busy 46 weeks of the year. And we want our new venue to be just as busy. And, something that gets overlooked, because if you're not there on campus every day, we're finally gonna have a place where all of our student athletes can meet at one time, and we're really excited to welcome this on campus.
Yeah,
Well, I guess
that sounds great.
I can ask my question in a different way, man, because Crossroads Sports is all sports. We cover all sports. We really do. I know sometimes if you tap into us, we'll be talking about basketball. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of is what it is. But like, no, man. Does that mean we can get media credentials to, swimming, or does IUP have golf?
We do. Yeah. So we have 18 sports. Look, you guys should come to the Horizon League Championship for swimming. It is a so Oakland's kind of the dominant school. They've won I can't remember how many years in a row, but we hosted it. And last year I didn't know what I was walking into, right? And there's a lot of things you don't know you're walking into in this role. The first night, and it was the same weekend as All-Star weekend last year, so it kind of got a little overshadowed, but this year it's not. Obviously we don't have All-Star, but
Right.
the first night, the first event is a relay, and we won. And it was like, I was fist pumping, I was yelling, high fiving our student athletes. The venue is packed. Swimming is one of the more underrated live spectator sports you can come to. So you guys got to come out and check it out. It'll be awesome.
I went to my first last year at the trials at Lucas Oil, and I couldn't imagine like what it'd be like at the Nats or so, a little bit smaller of a venue, but just how loud it would be in there, and people got into it. After like the second or third one, I was like, all right, I'm gonna start getting into this now. This is great. So
well, and the really unique part is you're all on the deck, so all the teams are next to each other, right? So imagine basketball or football where you have more than two teams and they're all lined up next to each other, swimming against each other. So it gets pretty intense, and the Nats still the fastest pool in the world, so you're gonna see some records that night, and it's a lot of fun.
So we have the current arena that's nicknamed the Jungle. Have we started works on what the nickname will be to the new one?
The gym.
The gym.
The gym. Yeah.
There we go. So you heard it first right here. The gym.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it. How did you come up? And I've enjoyed every one. I've listened, Luke. This last week and a half, 2 weeks, I've been doing my research. The recovery room chats. What made you decide to do that? And kind of, it looked like you're having fun doing it, and that's the great thing. I've seen the cold water treatments some people have done before with those, but I like the way that you kind of put your spin on it.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly how we came up with it. Other than I knew we wanted to showcase more student athletes, and I thought that'd be kind of a way to do it. And I think one day we came up with the recovery room chats, and we're happy our friends at Applied Research Institute decided to step up and sponsor it. And we have we're filming a couple more in the next 2 weeks and have a couple surprises for the second semester. But it's funny. It's as good as the student athletes want it to be too, right? Some are really nervous, some are more laid back, and you can tell. And Coach Casaro and I did it when he got on campus, and that was one of the more fun ones to do too, because we're both from Indy, and so had a lot of overlap on things that that we could talk about.
Nice, absolutely. My hardest two questions I have for you left. Whose idea was it for the Metro jerseys? Because that was fantastic.
Throwback, yeah.
That was fire. As soon as I saw that, that stopped me through my scrolling. I was like, wait a minute, the Metro jerseys are coming out?
Yeah, so I will. All the credit goes to Lauren Gronke on our staff. Lauren, one, I mean, I think it's really important to know the 40-year anniversary of Coach Lovell's team and honoring those guys that made the NAIA tournament. It was Lauren's idea. And, in the past, they haven't done a lot of stuff like this. There's been a hesitancy to go back and recognize the Metros, which to me, I tell people we change names, but we don't forget our past. So Lauren came up with that. She designed the jerseys. The only input I had is probably the part that makes her the most mad was adding IU Indy, because I was like, we still have to have IU Indy on it. But Lauren's been great with it. But I also want to give credit to Connor Hitchcock at home field. So we were at the summer conference called NACDA. It's kind of the athletic department thing. And we told Connor about it, and Connor goes, you guys have to try to recreate the old picture. And he pulled it up, and of course Lauren knew exactly what he was talking about. So then Lauren and him sat there, and we were in this exhibit hall in Las Vegas talking about what the t-shirts would look like, and really excited to partner with them. And we'll have one more apparel drop coming in the next couple of weeks from another local apparel company that will help close out the outfit for people doing at the Metros game.
Nice. Absolutely. I got one more wardrobe question.
Okay.
How many Red Jackets sport coats have you gone through so far?
So I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't ruined any yet. But it's funny. When I came home and told my wife that I was interested in doing this job, she's the most supportive wife you can have, and awesome. She was kind of like, okay, well, if it makes you happy, let's do it. And I said, but hey, we're gonna go all in. We're going to wear red jackets. We're going to have painted shoes. We're going to do all these different things. And it's funny because every once in a while I'll bring home some patterns, or I'll show her when we order them, and she's like, okay, all right, let's see what it's on. And then I'll put it on, and she's like, oh, it looks great. And she's like, we need to do more like that. So we'll have a couple more debut here in the second half of the season. But that's been the most fun, right? I always tell people in this role, I see other athletes, I get people all the time like, I can't believe the athletic director cheers. I'm like, I'm going to cheer my heart out when I'm at games. I'm going to yell. I'm going to get excited because this is my job. My job is doing this part. So, the red jackets or the colorful jackets are all part of the fun to doing this.
You got to believe, and I believe what you're doing, it's going to rub off on other athletic directors as well. And I feel like you're starting a trend with everything, whether it be the recovery room chats, doing that type of thing. You don't see ADs doing that. You're starting to trim with that, the cheering, as you mentioned, going all in. When you're doing something, you might as well go all in, or what else are you doing, right? So
exactly.
I think
I do have to remind
into it.
The one thing I have to remind myself though is, I wear these red jackets. I have these shoes, these painted shoes on, and there are times when I do want to say something to an official, I'm like, I can't do that. So at least I know my limits. But we were a couple of people on our team. They've been at other schools for a long time, and last year, 2 years ago now, we were at the Horizon League soccer championships, and our team was in the Final Four, and we scored a goal with 3 minutes to go in the game that ultimately sent the game in overtime. And I was high-fiving people. I remember one of his dad, I grabbed and picked him up and hugged him, and on the drive back, the guy on our team was like, yeah, other ADs don't do that. And I'm like, okay, well, this is how I'm going to do it. So that's been awesome.
Awesome. John?
Luke, we didn't want to hold you, man. You have given us so much, man. I don't know how you do it. I'm being for real, man, because I feel like we see, what I'm saying, because I follow you on social media, right? I feel like you're in and out of state because, during the holidays and whatnot, back, on the sidelines. And then, I wanted to chat it up with you real quick. You was like, nah, dude, you're going to bet a game. You didn't say nah, dude, but I understand, So I don't know how you do it, man, but just keep on doing what you're doing. And I guarantee you, IU Indy will be where, it'll be where you want it to be. Maybe not 100%, but all, the goals, that you said, they'll be, for sure attained.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, I always tell people that those 30 minutes right before the game, those are my most stressful ones, right? Because you're just waiting for something bad to happen. And as soon as I get through that, but look, I love the trajectory we're on in every sport. We just hired Angela Berry White in soccer, another Indianapolis product, North Central product. Our men's soccer team on the right track, swimming and diving. Coach Bruce on the women's side, we've dealt with some injuries, but but we'll get going. But on the men's side, like I've watched enough of your guys' videos now. I know you guys know basketball. I went to Franklin College where I played football, and we went 2-8 my freshman year, and then by the time I graduated, 9-1 conference champion, 15 years in a row of conference championships at Franklin. A lot of similarities here, right? That game against Northern Kentucky, the way we lost, I don't think I've ever seen a team lose a basketball game like that. A defensive goaltending on a crazy wedgie jump ball to play before, right? We all three of us could shoot that shot 100 times and that ball wouldn't wedgie. And then we lose in Northern Kentucky really good. And then we lose to Purdue Fort Wayne, where we went on a 8-2 run to end the game and missed a 3 at the buzzer, right? Those things, as we're building the culture, will start to flip, and we've seen the buy-in, and Paul Casaro and his group. I mean, Paul is a head coach. Yeah, he's a CEO mindset. We work really well together. I mean, we challenge each other, right? And this is exactly what we wanted. And I would encourage everybody watching this and listening, all your social media followers, get in now, right? Because the people who get in now, and by the way, in a year from now, when we're really good, we want you to come too. But you can say you're in early, right? And when we go to that new arena, we're going to be winning a lot of basketball games, and I'm excited for it. And as a kid from Indianapolis, to get to be a part of this, it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Charter members, get in now. Get your charter membership. Enjoy.
Exactly. I mean, look, you never know. You may get a red jacket if you get in now.
Exactly. Awesome. Well, Luke, thank you once again for joining us this evening. Best of luck the rest of the year. We'll see you here soon. We'll be coming back out to the jungle and on campus for sure.
You guys got to come to the Metro game.
Yeah. What date is
25th.
it? 25th.
January 25th, 2:00.
Next weekend.
Yeah. A week from Saturday.
Done.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, I should be able to be there. So awesome. Nice. Luke, appreciate you. Thank you, sir. We'll talk to you again. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, guys. This is a lot of fun. Appreciate it.